Check those first giraffes out. You know, pretty as nerd, right?
Yeah. Look at those, so you can see the planets.
Yeah.
The stars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, to Mars. Too bad they don't
The
have
Earth
Pluto.
is just, yeah.
But, yeah.
Hey,
Oh, hey.
it's them Nature Boys right now. It's just me and Mickey.
Yeah.
I got Andrew running the camera right now, but he'll probably pop in sometime. But
Yeah.
right now, yep. Oh, there he is. Look at that.
Hi. Yep.
Anyway, right now, me and Mickey are just kind of going through the field guide for stars and planets. But right now, I just want to talk to you about the survival in the outdoors. If you want, you can find it. Outdoor, local bookstore, wherever. I actually just want to run over a few things. Actually, there's at least a dozen different things to learn about before you actually go out and survive in the outdoors. And figured we'd run through some of the run-of-the-mill stuff for you guys, see how you guys might like it, or your basic stuff for survival. So yeah, I'll just go run through that real quick. Survival of the Outdoors, Byron Dalrymple. If you want to, look for it.
Then, Stars and Planets by Donald Manzel and
It's the Peterson Field Guides.
Yeah.
Yeah, show them the book real quick. Yeah, that's the Stars and Planets. If you want to look it up, see if you can find it. It's actually pretty interesting. Other than that, for surviving out in the outdoors, it's basic. Your first thing is orientation for survival. Easy stuff. First is when you're not lost, like, when you know where you're at, like a park or your backyard or wherever. Knowing yourself. Basically, like, knowing your limits on what you can do, how long you can go without eating, or how much energy you use, or basically your physical fitness, your mentality, how you react to certain situations, your overall you. Um, Up next is your survival mentality, like knowing what to do in certain situations, whether or not you can make something out of Mother Nature, or um, knowing your basics on how to survive outdoors, and being able to get back to wherever you gotta go.
Yeah.
One of the big things is always being prepared. That's going out with, like your hunting, your fishing, stuff to make a fire with, something to keep warm with, shelter, your basic knowledge of what you're going to be doing, how long you're going to be gone, and what you would need in case you get hurt, like a first aid kit, being prepared if it gets wet out, like a rain suit, or going out with an axe to get wood, or your basics to live outdoors. The next one is fatigue, knowing how far you can go before you get tired out or get too hungry, and basically how long you can last before you're too tired to do anything, before you have to rest, basically. Um, that's the first part. So, next one is the pre-emergency schooling, which is learning, how to observe. Um, we'll go through that. First, find out who is accident prone. Um, Knowing, like, if you're more likely to get hurt or trip over something, or if you don't really see anything, so that way you can avoid accidents, so to speak.
Like, and if someone cuts themselves, you know how to put the pressure on it and everything.
Yeah, knowing,
Like
you know,
with a
first
bandana
aid
or
and
something.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Up next is training your interest in nature. Basically, what you want to do is see, I mean, you don't want to see if you want to become like a camper or
A hunter.
yeah, hunter, or if you really like spending time outdoors versus inside, and you know, see how fun it is for you. If you know you don't find it appealing, try finding something that you know piques your interest, so that way it seems a little bit more fun to do for you. The next major thing, sounds and smells. Yeah, I know it kind of sounds weird, doesn't smell right. I know,
Puns.
punny. But they do actually come in handy. Um,
Like smelling bear tracks. You know how far away a bear is, possibly, or a deer.
yeah, in a way, but more or less smelling like not really entrails, but droppings. You know, if it has like a really smell like that sort of smell to it, then chances are that's traveled a lot. Or you know, at night you can't really see anything. Your best bet is your ears, because sound travels no matter what, and you can actually hear something directionally too, in which you'll hear from either behind you, off to your left, or wherever, and you'll also be able to know how close it is to how loud the sound is. Um, Plus, it also tells how heavy or light something is due to you know how much of like a cracking of a stick or a twig or whatever it is. Um, Other than that, you can also tell how fast something is moving too, by like how fast you hear footprints or anything like that. Um, our next thing is reading correctly. We're not talking about reading books like we were earlier. We're talking about reading signs in nature, like you know, reading trails, footprints, droppings, how old the trail is or how recent it is, um, reading trees on like the size of an animal, like a bear or a deer, what
Probably
kind of
bigger deer.
trees are around, what kind of bushes, what kind of plant life, animals, you know, all that different sort of thing to know what you're up against or what you're going to be dealing with, and as to know what kind of traps to set or your basic knowledge of your surroundings. Um, that's it for our second subject. Our third one is where emergencies may occur. And yes, there are times where you will have an emergency. Nobody's perfect. Even professionals run into emergencies every so often. Um, our first one would be, you know, your basic fishing hazards.
Catching a shark.
Well,
Falling
yeah,
in.
catching a shark, but excuse me, that's only if you're,
Running on
excuse me,
the water.
in like near the ocean, stuff like that. But even like near lakes and streams and even your rivers, there are chances of drowning, getting swept away, or something happening. You slip, you lose your footing. Even as little as getting a hook stuck in your finger or somewhere on you, as to which you're going to need medical attention. Um, and you know, in nature, it can actually become hazardous due to the fact that not everything is readily available to you. Sometimes you might not have what you would need, but as long as you know your surroundings and what's out there, you can easily prevent it. If not, there are substances out there that will help heal it. The next one would be birds and animals.
So knowing your cardinals, robins, foxes, dogs, cats, all kind of things.
Yeah, knowing what kind of
Dangers.
bird, yeah, like dangers, like
a bear can do many things too, like claw, bite, I think.
yes, and we'll be going through that, teaching you how to one, avoid any dangers and coming into contact, and two, if something does happen, we will point out strategies or anything that you can do to actually scare them off or get away from them easily, or at least try to. And we'll be touching on that quite a bit as we go through and show you guys how to do certain things and stuff like that. Up next is our subject number 4, this is something what you would need for emergencies. This is going to be your most basic. One is survival and comfort. That's something we'll be touching on here and there. We'll try not to do it a little too much, but it's something we will hit on so that way you'll know what to bring and how much to carry and stuff like that. The second thing is a survival pack. That's something that you will more than likely rely upon in certain situations. They're actually little packs. You can go to the store, you can get different sizes and stuff like that for them. It's basically if you run into trouble and you need extra food to get you through the day or whatever, if you run out. Other than that, you can pretty much find them just about anywhere. Our third thing is first aid kit. We mentioned that earlier. If you wanna,
like you can carry a bandana with you, so if you get cut, it's easy to tighten up. The band-aid might fall off all the time. The bandana won't likely fall off as much.
Yeah, basically, have a bandana or something to make a sling with. Another major thing is also have something where you can do sutures if need be. Have something for, if you're stung or if you get bit by anything, make sure you have something for bites, especially in Mother Nature. You don't know what's out there 100% of the time, and, you're likely to get bit. Our next one is survival clothing. It's a wide range because, you could be going somewhere where it's cold out and you want to wear something like, boots, pants, something that'll help keep your body heat in without expending too much energy.
During a hot day,
yeah.
normal.
In hot days, a lot of people would say dress less. That's not always the case. There are times where you actually want to cover a little bit more to actually keep the heat out and keep yourself from getting burned, because that can actually work against you too.
Getting radiation poisoning.
More or less like skin cancer and stuff like that. Up next is your special items. Whatever you might need for hygiene or
flashlight possibly.
Definitely a flashlight just in case you need to see at night or have to go do something or whatever. Up next is fire equipment, food and water, and long trips. Basically, you don't want to bring something to start fire with, like you got lighters, matches, flint sticks, There's a good handful of different ways to start a fire. If you
Hey, dude, check that out. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What's that? How yeah. Oh, we got military clips.
Fuck it.
and the wind had to pick up. Fucking loopers.
Yeah, that's gonna be the perfect blooper.
It's still recording.